Samang given in Margo, Nongwa. Because me go, with a mouse for Nongwa. Nu den, nin does the cars, and the stubber in the cars, yeah. Shall not see in the cars, yeah, does see so Eric Isaac. She can't have shown no time. Oh. Bob no, ik me soms zak nog een zak. Ik weet het niet zo. No ga. Maar zo in, ik weet. Ik heb maar peer uitje, west zien, net zien, ik weet. Het moet eens kijken, kok zijn, ik kijk, kan ik net ons zak. Ik heb maar peer uitje, maar ik niet zien. Binge voyage. Miigwech kimishang. S7. Miigwech. Bish. Miigwech. Medium. Miigwech. George go. Nishna bakuri skau manda. Mishkugi aben ongwa. Giben the gago man. You know, can't get up now on Pegoitic. Na weg ja wat. Homeschool, residential school, they call them good, yeah. Good thing, Kasha, yeah, you thought me go. Case me, get it up to go. Niki way on good thing. With the soda, Kasha, yeah. Homeschool. Residential school getting a goggle man, Panego and keep Kadama. But the go to the stub and young, keep Shazago man, we want to stub and young. Nigani at the rock and my own stub and when Garginas, so not him sing it, and it was still order. Gargin, that was the that my pig. Kago, just Kagan, yeah. Stop and young, shall not see my pee on the garbage charge. Gives the like omega as come go cat them gives the like morning thing. As come guy get a stop and they go take no up shall not gives the like away. They go and stop and cat, yeah. Kita. Minarus miigwech, dakit mina mapim ni shane, kita skabi. Apik mina kaiga apik kita top dance kuna mina week on the stabam one. Mi svatam give shemikis me mapim ni shane and stabam chick. This gear Shem gets me. Just go put again as Hector, yeah. Gear Shag nog any. Yeah, 10 down. Put your Nicholas memo pay when you stop at me. Kin all there, this no back. And the Kendas one manda, this no back. And cook Skazi and Goyaki. On the Slovak, my mother at the time would be scabbing up kin water and the Slovak meat. The Slovak makes gonna can walk in the Indian suck when it's the Slovak was me on Christian as a present. We got kick it and that's 7 piece medium meal. So I'm strong up in the same. Begoidig is naar weg en ja, ik dat zijn maken. We doen ze aan, kopen ze aan, we baksen. Die zijn we ja akset maar, dan aan we kijk dus we hem de passen, maar Peking. Ja, ik zeg, ik kan me gaan. We gaan die aan, we stappen, ja, ik zeg. We hebben gezegd dat ik me gaan nog. Ik weet, me ja. Aha, miigwech, Bob nung, miigwech chow nung, Gishmong miigwech, mina kiwet nung ea chigote, miigwech. Vidushna, Korvishna. Aha, Mia. Aha, miigwech.
Bonjour, c'est Isaac de Sakaz, Mikadon, Ketranong, Dunjaba. On a solstice, we call it the summer solstice day or the beginning of summer, Ni Bing. And today we remember the reason we're here because it's a time that we, in our cultural cycle, that we gather. We gather and we renew old acquaintances again, make new ones. And it's also time to honor, and especially with what's going on in the world today, and what's going on with the discovery of those little ones, that they're finding more and more lost souls of our children. So today we're also remembering and we're honoring. And as we gather, we also like to pray, feast, and to be able to meet and greet and hold on to each other again. And that's what the summer gathering brings for us as Indigenous populations and people. So in today, partnering with the school district and the school board, it brings us even closer together that as human beings, the different colors that are found in a medicine wheel, when it brings us together in those ways, it helps us get back to some of the truest meanings of who we are as human beings, as different races of man in this world. And that's important, that our next generations, as in the way we understand it, our 7-generation teachings, brings that together for us. So again, I'd just like to give greetings and welcome, and feel very honored to be able to welcome this next part of our season, that summer solstice celebration, that Niben. And again, we give greetings and we give thanks for all of those who are helping to understand who we are and our purpose here on earth. So Chumigwet for listening. Have a great celebration day to all, and look forward to the time that we can meet and give each other those hugs and affirmations that we have to exchange the emotion and the feeling that we have. So enjoy your summer, and we look forward to the fall celebration when we can gather again and talk about the meaning behind those residential schools for us and how we honor those lives that have been lost. So Chumigwech, we'll have a prayer with my father today and giving honor to our creator and creation. So Chumigwech, pamapiminwa, wabmin, aham.
Sego, sewa, wego, gana di senyongits. Wagatsioni, waganya dehane. I am very honored to be here. I introduce myself as Ganadisa, but I'm really well known as Grandmother Renee. I have been carrying that name since I was asked by many of my young people if they could call me Grandma, and I agreed. So today we're here to continue that message of hope. Grandma is always saying there's hope. Never give up. There's always hope. And that's one of the things we need to remember. The sun represents hope. The moon represents hope. The wind represents hope. Everything of nature represents hope. So never give up, because they're working so hard for you. They're here every day just to encourage you, to make sure that you can follow your dreams and make sure that you become well. And that's why they're here today. It's all about hope. Hope.
Bonjour. Hello. Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this very special presentation. My name is Moses Luna, and I'm coming to you from the community of Kettle and Stony Point First Nation. Now, my community is part of the Anishinaabe Nation. Therefore, that makes me Anishinaabe. Today, I'm here to lead you in a very special art project inspired by the National Indigenous Peoples Day. Today, I'm here to lead you in recreating this beautiful painting that you see over my shoulder. I created this painting. The title of this painting is called We Are Standing Together. Before we begin our project though, let's talk a little bit about this National Indigenous Peoples Day and what it means when we are standing together. The opportunity to hear stories from our elders, to take and participate in an art class, and to participate and see a virtual powwow. Wow, that is awesome. Whoever came up with the idea of a virtual powwow, that is awesome. Yes, so many things to celebrate and so much to learn. As a result of this new way of sharing, I have learned so much since last year. Also, I have provided opportunities to share what I know with Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. Some are my friends, and some are my allies. They stand with me. They walk with me, shoulder to shoulder, as we move forward into the future. And that has been the inspiration for this painting. We stand together. Now let's create this painting. Okay, let's take a look at the art materials we're going to need for our project today. We will need some acrylic paint. We will need the 5 colors of black, yellow, blue, white, and red. We will need 2 paper plates, 2 paper cups, and some paper towel. The paper towel is used if we have an accident, if we do knock over those cups of water. So this is good to have on hand for those accidents. But I also like to use paper towel to clean my brushes. So let's say, for example, when I'm finished with a color and I want to clean my brush, I wipe all the excess onto this paper towel here, and then I put it into the water, and that cleans it up really, really good. So there you go. There's another use for paper towel. But also, I like to use paper towel to control how much paint is on my brush. So let's say if I have too much paint on there, I wipe all that excess off onto the paper towel, and then I can go to the area where I'm working and I will get a much better result. So there you go. 3 things we can use paper towel for. Let's see what else we're going to need. A canvas. Yes. Today I'm going to be using the same size of canvas that I used to create the original. This is 9 inches by 12 inches. And we're going to use it in a portrait format. So that means the long sides of our canvas are vertical. If I were to turn it this way, this is called landscape, but we're not going to use landscape today. We're going to use portrait. Okay, that is all the art materials we need for our project. Let's take a close look at this painting and get a good idea, so it'll give you a good idea as to the work that's involved. Okay, so here we are. Let's start at the bottom here. Let's look at this image down here. Okay, in particular, this right here. All right, so that is a turtle, and that symbolizes Turtle Island. Okay, next we have this little red strip of paint here. That represents the red road, which means it's a good way of life or a good way to live. All right, let's go up here. And as you can see, we have 4 figures or 4 people. And they all have different colors. Maybe you've seen these colors before. Maybe you've seen them on the medicine wheel. Yes, the medicine wheel. So these colors on the medicine wheel can symbolize humanity. So everybody on that medicine wheel is represented, all of humanity. The Caucasian people, the Asian people, the Indigenous people, and the Black people. Indigenous people see everyone as human beings. And we also have a saying, or we know each other as all of our relations. We're all related. Now, up here at the top, we have the Indigenous person holding an eagle feather. And there are many teachings about the eagle feather. It's a great honor to be a recipient of an eagle feather. And as you can see, he's holding it up high. He's pretty proud. And there's a little bit of light coming off there. That represents hope. So here's our painting, standing together, moving forward for a better future. Okay, here we go. The first step we're going to do is we're going to make the color light blue. So let's add some blue and some white to our paper plate. Now let's mix these 2 colors together, and let's use our small brush to do this work. Okay, I'm going to grab my canvas. I'm going to switch things up here. Okay, let's begin to create. Let's do a little starting point right here on our canvas. And let's go right across and do the same thing. So let's put another little point right here. So that's about the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a curved line. That's going to be the back of that turtle shell. Okay, so let's paint a curved line and connect those dots. the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create those 4 rectangles, which are going to be the bodies of the 4 people. Let's start right here on the right side of our canvas. I'm going to put a little line that looks like this. I'm going to put another one right beside it. Looks like this. And then I'm going to connect those 2 lines, the end of those lines, and there's my rectangle. Let's go to the other side and do the same thing. I'm going to start here with this line. And this one. I'm going to connect the ends of these 2 lines. Now we have lots of space in here to create 2 more. Let's start on the right side. Looks like this line right here, so just move it over, do the same thing. And then over here, let's do the same thing again. Connect the ends. And now we have a space for 1 more. All right, I'm going to follow this line here. So I'm going to put it right here, do the same thing. Then over here. There. Connect the end points. And there we go. There's our 4 shapes. 4 rectangles. And now we're going to do some circles right on top here. So let's create those 4 circles. Okay, there's 1. Now when we put that circle on top of that rectangle, it looks like the letter I. Hey, my second circle. Oh. All right. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. Creating circles by freehand is a hard thing to do. Takes a lot of practice to make them perfect. All right, next circle. Okay, I'm a little better on this one. Okay, now that puts us down to our final circle right here. There we go. I finally got it right. All right, so now we're almost close to drawing everything that we need before we begin to paint. One more thing we're going to do is we're going to create that eagle feather at the top here. So let's draw a little rectangle. All right, So I'm going to put a little line right here and another little line right here, right beside it. Okay, so it looks a little bit long like that, right? Now I'm going to connect these end points like this and like this, right? What we're going to do next is we're going to make this into a point, right? So at the bottom, let's make a little line that comes in here like this, and another line that comes in here like that. Two little lines on an angle, and you can see we've made a point now. Okay. Let me fine tune that just a little bit here. There. That's better. We're just going to leave it at that for now. Now we can begin to fill in all this area surrounding all the shapes that we have created. So let's grab our medium brush. Let's upsize to a bigger brush to do this work, and let's fill this in. All right, so I'm going to start to use up some of my light blue here. I'm going to start to put this at the bottom. Okay. All right, looking at my paint, I'm going to have to mix more. So more white and more blue. Mix that together. Okay, I got lots of blue here, and I'm using up a lot of my plate as well. So definitely I'm going to be needing that second plate for sure. All right, so there we go. Almost finished mixing it together. All right, there we go. Okay, so once you've mixed the color blue, light blue, let's use this now and let's fill that area around our shapes. Now, if you see an area like this, right, there's not much space there between those circles and the top of those rectangles that we have made. So what I like to do is I can turn my brush sideways to create a thinner line, and I can get right in there and fill those areas just by turning my brush sideways. So give it a try. If you're having difficulty with that area, turn that brush sideways and you can get right in there and fill that area in a lot easier, because your brush, your medium brush, is way too wide for there to get in there. No. Turn your brush sideways. You can get right in there easily and fill that without any problems. There we go. And now I'm going to use the full width of my brush. Let's fill this in. Okay, there we are. Nice sky, nice color blue. That looks good. And we're going to leave that for now. And we're going to turn our attention to the bottom of our canvas now. And we're going to begin to create that turtle. So let's get ready for that. I'm going to put this right here. Let's take a look at that turtle before we begin. All right, so he has 3 shapes here. I'm going to walk you through the process of creating these shapes here. The face of that turtle and his 2 hands and the claws. Yeah, let's do that next. Okay, so let's put this medium brush aside. Let's go back to our small brush. Okay, so it's got a little bit of, light blue. Let's clean that off a little bit. Once again, use our paper towel, right? Wipe all that excess off onto the paper towel. Get it into the water a little bit. Nice and clean. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to mix a color. Again, we're going to add some yellow and some blue. We're going to make the color green. So let's start with some yellow here first. So I want to add a good amount of yellow. All right, that looks pretty good right there. Now I'm going to add a very small amount of blue right next to it. Now the reason why I'm using a much smaller amount of blue is because, well, if I were to use equal parts of this paint and mix it together, well, the blue's going to kind of dominate that yellow, and it's going to kind of look like a really dark green or even a blue green, right? So, but I want a nice bright light green, so I'm only going to use a small amount of blue. Let's mix that together. Let's use our small brush here. Let's try this. All right, it may be a little bit more work for us using the smaller brush to mix this together. All right, it's looking good though. That's the color I want. A nice light green. Okay, like I said, yeah, using our small brush here does make it a little bit harder compared to that medium brush, right? It was easier. All right, there we go. I think that's good. Okay, let's create that turtle's head. All right, so little brush. All right, let's create the head of the turtle first. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little line right here. So find the center of your canvas and let's put a little line right here, up and down, vertical. Leaving a little space right here. We want some space because we're going to put that red strip. Remember that red road right here? So we need to leave some room there. So a little vertical line straight up and down. So let's create one side at a time. So I'm going to start right at the top of this line. I'm going to move it over this way here a little bit, curve it down, do a little bit of curved line there. I'm going to bring it down to the bottom and make it look like that. There. It's a little bit of a funny shape, but that's going to be our turtle's head. And now I'm going to match it up onto the other side here. So I'm just going to continue up here. Let's see. Let me take a look. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm going to start to curve it. Down. And there. That's pretty good. I'm a little bit off here. I want to fix this here. So yeah, you can always fine tune it a little bit. I'm gonna go like this. Let's fill it in. Let's see how it looks. If we need to fine tune it, get it looking a little bit better, let's do that. All right, let's make the claws. So I'm going to start down here. It's right about there, little starting point. Leave a little space there from the corner. I'm going to make a curved line that looks something like this. And let's make those claws. All right, so I'm going to start right here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to fill that in. Solid. Let's go to the other side and do the same thing. Starting point right here. Make that curved line that looks like this. Let's make those claws. Let's start with this one right here. Little line. Back down. Back up. And back down. Looks pretty good. Looks about the same. Let's fill that in. All right, let's take a look at what we're going to create next. Let's create this red road here, this strip of red that symbolizes that red road, symbolizes a good way of living, the red road. Let's do that next. Okay, let's look at our two brushes here. So we got some blue and we got some green on these brushes. Let's clean them up. Once again, grab your paper towel. Wipe all that excess blue and green onto the paper towel. Squeeze it out. That paint is right inside there. Give it a little squeeze. All right. Yeah, look at all that paint. All right, so that paper towel is helping us clean this brush. And now we can get it into the water. swish it around. All right, let's take a look. Looks pretty good, nice and clean. Okay, good, good. All right, I'm gonna look at my plate here. I'm going to need to add some red to my paper plate, but there's no room here. So I'm gonna be onto my second plate. I'm gonna put this one aside. All right, second plate, red paint. Shake it up a little bit. There we go. Just a small amount is all we need. Okay, let's grab a brush. Let's grab our medium brush. Okay, let's get some paint on that brush. Let's load it up. Let's get ready to paint this red road. This good way of living. Okay. All right, let's put that right here. So use the full width of your brush. Apply that paint right there like that. That looks pretty good. I got the wind a little bit off there, but we can fine tune that. I'm just gonna go over that again. That's a good thing about acrylic paint. We can always make our fix up our mistakes. This is good so far. There. That looks, yeah, much better. Okay, let's begin to fill in all of our shapes here. So let's put this medium brush aside and let's grab that small brush now. Should be nice and clean. I'm going to put this aside for a minute, or a second. I'm going to add some white. Let's start with the color white. So add that to your paper plate. Just a small amount is all we need. Load up that brush. And let's fill this one right here. This little rectangle on the right side here, let's fill that in. Now you can keep away from the blue a little bit, from the edge there. Maybe dry though. It might be dry, so it should be okay. You won't get any mixing if you overlap. But let's fill that in with some white. And as well, let's do the circle and this shape right here at the top, right? Remember that shape for the eagle feather? A little bit of white right here. There we go. And now for the eagle feather. What we could do also is round it off. We can go overlap it into that blue a little bit and make it look like this. We can do that. That's okay. All right, that's finished. On to the next color, yellow. So we got two shapes here to fill in with yellow. Let's continue using our small brush. So once again, we're gonna have to clean it. Wipe it off with some Yeah, that paper towel, wipe it off onto the paper towel. Let's get it into the water. And now we're ready to add some yellow to our paper plate. Once again, just a small amount is all we need. Load up that small brush. Let's fill it in right here, right beside this one right here. Once again, you can leave a little bit of space if you want to. If you're getting too close to that light blue, I think it's dry though, so it should be okay. All right, there's my rectangle. Now I'm going to fill in the little circle. All right, there we go. That's good. And that is it. That's all we need the yellow for. Those two shapes. And once we're finished that, let's clean that brush. Wipe it off on the paper towel, back into the water. Next color, red. I already have some on my plate. I'm going to use this. Load up that small brush. Let's fill in those two shapes. There's one. Now for the circle. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, once you've finished that red, let's clean that brush once again, wipe off all that excess red onto the paper towel. Get it into the water, clean it up. And yeah, that's it for all our colors. Now we can go right straight to working with the color black. And fine tune some of our shapes here, do a lot of the outlining with this color black. Okay, so let's add some of that to our paper plate. Okay, load up that brush, get some black on there. And let's see where we're going to start here. So we got lots of places to start. Let's take a look. Where can we start? I think what we'll do is we'll start right in this area here. Let's define that turtle. Let's fill in the black. All right, around these green shapes we have created. So maybe we can start with the head, right? So let's take some of that black. Let's go along the edge that we have created of that shape. Okay, that's pretty good right there. It's a good outline. Now I'm going to do the other two shapes. The two legs of that turtle. Now for this one right here. Let's put the face on that turtle. Let's start with his mouth. Okay, so the first thing we're going to create is a little, well, it looks like a little V, right? The letter V right here. And then we're going to take, at the end of those little lines there, we're going to do another little line that looks like that. So there we go. There's that turtle's mouth. If you ever look at a snapping turtle, you can see he's got that little hook right there. That's for like, yeah, little V. And now all he needs is some eyes. So just to do a little bit of mark right here and a little mark right there. There. Let's keep it simple. Now let's fill in the rest of this. Okay. We can use our small brush if we want, or, well, I was going to say we can upgrade to our medium, but there's a lot of red on there. You can clean that brush if you want and fill in that area, or you can continue working with your small brush. It may take a little bit longer, a little bit more work, but it's ready to use. Let's continue using it. Let's fill in this area. All right, that looks pretty good now. Okay, our next detail on the turtle is let's put a line right above, right here. Okay, that's going to define that turtle shell. So let's take our little brush and let's make a black line all the way across. Okay, so it looks something like that. More paint reload here. There. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're finished with the bottom part of our painting. Now we can focus on outlining the people. Let's start right here on the right side. Let's outline that rectangle. Okay, what we're going to do next is let's do the circle. Let's outline that circle. Let's add some details to this first person here. And let's connect that circle to the top of that rectangle. That's going to be his neck. And then let's extend these lines right here, right to the top of that turtle shell here, and that's going to be his legs. All right, let's just leave it at that for now. And let's go on to the next shapes. Let's outline, starting with the rectangle once again. Okay, gonna outline the circle. Oh, a little crooked there. I gotta fix that. There. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, once again, we're going to do those little details. We're going to connect that circle to the top of the rectangle. Extend these lines here to the top of the shell of the turtle. Those are going to be his legs. And we're going to leave it at that once again. All right. Okay, on to the next shapes here. So outline the red rectangle once again. There we go. One side. Number two. Connect the ends. There. That looks good. Okay, outline the circle. There. Once again, little details. We'll connect the circle to the top of the head with a little line, like that. Extend these lines on the sides of that rectangle right down to the top of the shell, like that. And that's done. And now we have one more pair of shapes to fill in. A little bit different this time. Instead of outlining that rectangle, we're going to fill it in. Well, we could start outlining it first. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's just outline it first, and then we'll fill it in. There you go. Outline it, and then let's fill it in. Solid. Okay, we'll do the head as well. Outline it first, and then fill it in solid. And now to connect that circle to the top of the rectangle, little line, and then extend that down, and there we go. Let me see. Am I crooked there a little bit? Yeah, let's fix that. Let's straighten that up a little bit here. There we go. That's better. There. All right, there we are. All right, what we're going to do next is we're going to work on our eagle feather here. We're going to add a little detail here. Now, this eagle feather is a tail feather, and oftentimes you'll see black tips on those eagle feathers. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add a little black tip here. So I'm going to take my little brush here and add some black on the tip of this eagle feather. And I'm going to have it come to a little point, right? So it looks like this. Comes to a little point. So a little fine detail. That's pretty good right here. Let me straighten it up a little bit. All right, that's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so that gives you an idea how to do that little detail of the eagle feather. And that's good. All right, so now let's take a look at our original painting. Let's see what we're going to do next. And we're going to continue working with this eagle feather. And as you can see, we have the indigenous person here holding up his arm, right? Holding up that eagle feather. So we're going to make a little line that comes straight down, and then we're going to connect the end of that line to the shoulder here, and that will finish that detail. Okay. So let's start it at the end of that eagle feather, straight down. And now to connect the end of that line right to that shoulder right there, the corner of that rectangle. And it looks something like this. There we go. There. Now he's holding up that eagle feather, right? Yeah. Now let's finish all the rest of the details of the arms. Let's start over here on the left side. All right, so this one's pretty simple. All we're going to do is a straight line down, and that's it. All right, so for our next, his other arm, we're going to have it actually holding the indigenous person's arm. So let's draw it down like this a little bit. And now I'm going to create the other arm for the indigenous person holding or connecting at the end of that line. So it looks like they're holding hands, right? Okay, so we'll leave it at that. And now let's go to the other side, to the right side of our canvas. Let's start here. Let's just make that simple once again. Just have an arm coming straight down. And we're going to create just exactly what we did right here. So I'm going to start a line here. All right, it looks a little bit shorter, but that's okay. And a little line right here, holding or connecting once again, just like that. All right, so we got one more detail, and that's creating the arm right here. We're gonna have it kind of stretched out here a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna make it look something like this right there. So maybe it's kind of, yeah, patting him on the back, right? Job well done kind of thing, right? So there we go. But still connected, that's the most important thing. All right, so we're almost finished our painting. We have almost got one more detail, and that's creating some white lines, right? So once again, to symbolize that light, that in that light there's hope. So let's clean that brush up, our small brush, and add this final detail to our painting, and we're almost finished. All right, there we go. Nice and clean. For our final detail, still using our small brush, and so let's do that. Let's grab a little bit of white here. Okay, it looks a little bit dry. It's been sitting there, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. You may need to add a little bit of water, or get some new white. That's also a good choice. So a little bit of white, and we'll create 3 lines right here. So we'll start one here, right in the center. It kind of goes like this. We'll go to the other side, do the same thing. We'll create another line on an angle. Kind of looks like this. And we could do the same thing on the other side, like that. And now, that side. And then one more final line right here to finish things off. And there we go. There's our painting. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you had a little fun. And yeah, I certainly did. And yeah, get out there and celebrate National Indigenous Day. You know, share a good story or two, right? Yeah. Take care, everybody. We'll hope to see you soon. Bamapi.